Greetings everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to find somber smithing stones 1 through 10 before having to fight any bosses. So, let's get started. First, you will want to make your way to this location. You can get here at any point in the game, even at the very start. You'll have to do a bit of traveling, but once you have your steed, you'll get here in a matter of minutes. Careful with this jump. This giant blacksmith will sell somber stones 1 through 4. But hold on, before I go any further, I'm sure a lot of people will ask how I even got here without going through Stormvale Castle and defeating its 2 bosses. So, I feel I'd have to show this because there might be many of you who still don't know. You can take this pathway to the right here and avoid the castle entirely. I'll show it for you quickly. You can skip ahead if you already know how to do this. And there you go, we skipped the castle and its 2 very easy bosses. Of course we can get back to them at any time. Now for somber stone number 5, we go to this location. Again, you can get here at any point in the game, just follow the roads and you can't miss this. And there's our plus 5. Now for stones 6 and 7, this is where it gets complicated. The developers definitely did not make it easy to find these stones by any means. Especially considering how easy it is to find 8 and 9, but more on those later. In order to get to the locations containing 6 and 7, you'll have to progress a bit in the game. In other words, we'll have to get to the Altus Plateau and the Volcano Manor. As far as we know, there are 3 methods to get to those locations and unfortunately, every single one is inconvenient and problematic, especially if you're trying to get there early. The first is the most straightforward path and requires us to go to this location. And climb all the way to the top. Deal with the giant bats. And then it's a simple matter of taking down the magma worm. Take the elevator up. And here we are. But since it involves defeating a boss, we won't be taking this route. The second method requires us to go through the Liurnia Academy. In this location. This works by having this strange enemy, who strangely enough, is called the Abductor Virgin, kill us, with its specific attack that grabs us. And this will somehow take us to Volcano Manor. But since I am someone who does not like to die, I could never take this route. Which brings us to method number 3. And don't worry, if you like and prefer method number 2, this last one will also eventually take you in the same area, just a lot longer, so you can skip ahead, if you like. But for now, we'll have to take the Great Lift of Dectus, which is over here. And in order to do so, we're going to need both pieces of the Dectus medallion. The left piece is located here, in Fort 8. At the very top. The right piece is located here, in Fort Farith. Immediately after the ladder. Now that we have access to the lift, we will have to do one more little thing to have early access to Volcano Manor. Come to this location and start this woman's questline. She will ask you to recover a necklace that was stolen from her. The man who took that necklace can be found over here. You can either buy the necklace back from him, or take it back with violence.
Alright. Take it.
Return the necklace to Rhea and she will give you the Volcano Manor invitation.
Brave Tarnished. Seek the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree.
Now we can proceed with the lift. A side note regarding this third method. I stated earlier that all 3 methods of progression have complications. What you should know about taking the Dectus lift is that, it is a major plot point in the story. Therefore, it causes several changes. For example, certain bosses temporarily disappear. NPCs as well, they change location, making some of their early items or quests unobtainable. But if you don't mind these minor occurrences, then you can proceed with method 3. However, if you are bothered by these changes, you can choose step 2. If you can stomach having a death on your character. Now, back to the lift. You'll find Rhea over here, since we started her questline. Exhaust her dialogue and she'll take you to Volcano Manor.
I've been waiting for you.
Now that we're here, go ahead and talk to this other woman. Exhaust her dialogue until she gives you a key.
Brave Tarnished. Welcome to the Volcano Manor.
Which we can use over here. Hit the illusionary wall. And now we make our long journey to the lava area. Watch out for the virgins. At last, we have our stone 6. The next one is close by. Almost forgot to mention, this is the same area where that transport from Method 2 brings you. This is the area boss. And our stone is right up there. Stone 7. Now for stones 8 and 9. Remember that I mentioned earlier that they were easy? Well, here they are. Can be obtained as soon as you start your game. Not that they'll be worth much without 6 and 7. There's 8. And stone 9 is just down below. And lastly, Somber stone number 10. In order to get this final stone, we will have to go to the tornado area, a pretty much end of game location, but obviously for the purposes of this video, we will have to get there early and without beating any bosses. And surprisingly we can. It will involve a method we call, wrong, warping. But, I know what you are thinking, another cheating speedrunning breaking hack that will probably mess up my game file or possibly get me banned. But no, don't worry, this method is very simple and safe. First, we need to make our way to this location. Perfumer's Grotto. It's kind of hidden here as well and very unlikely that you'll stumble upon it on your own, so I will show it to you. It's also being covered by these lovely plants, so players are not likely to go near here and explore. Make sure to touch the grace. Now, go back to the very top of the 4 belfries and grab the imbued sword key. We will be using it on the teleporter farthest from here. This will take us to Crumbling Farm Azula, in a spot where there is absolutely nowhere to go. But, from here, we will be fast traveling back to Perfumer's Grotto, that hidden location we just found. As soon as the loading screen ends and you are standing, immediately quit out. Load back in, and you will appear at the beginning of Tornado area, as if you just defeated the fire giant. Believe me, we still have no idea why this happens, but it is quite convenient. You didn't even have to force quit and risk ruining or corrupting your game file. Very handy. Now we make our extremely dangerous journey through this amazingly designed area all the way to Godskin Duo. And we're going to skip them. This third jump might take you several attempts. Luckily, every time you fail, you'll start right back here from the top again after you load back in. And there we go. We just skipped Ornstein and Smo. Before I continue with this, I should mention for those of you that are concerned, doing this major skip will not affect your game or story progression at all. In other words, no bosses or quest lines will disappear. However, killing the final boss in this area will change everything. So I'd leave that for last. Now let's continue. And there we have it, the somber ancient dragon smithing stone. or Somber Smithing Stone plus 10. We've just collected all 10 upgrade stones and didn't even have to fight any bosses. Let's give it a quick test.